What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So we got the 8 Claws Clan event meta guide today. This is basically just Triumph of Dust in general. Through this event, you'll be getting lots of arcanes, really fast by the way, and also grinding out the new spider frames, weapons, parts, and more. So let's hop right into the guide. Before we do though, make sure to sub this channel, do daily WARFRAME video uploads. We're going to have the meta guide for this, obviously. We're going to have an Oraxia video tomorrow and a ton more, because Oraxia's weapons are actually really cool. Alright, so for this guide, as far as what you'll be getting from this this event, let's go ahead and talk about the first thing first. What you'll be farming for in this clan event. So, as far as what you're going to be getting, we're in the Dorma Zone right now, and we're going to be turning in our new clan resource called Dominus Auras to this vendor. And there's some items that are locked off, so over the next couple of weeks, this event ends in like mid-July, and the vendor will go away on the 23rd of July. These will be unlocked over time. Don't worry, it's actually a guaranteed unlock. I know they say it's like, it's a community-wide grinding effort. That's not actually the case. It's actually a timer. So we'll probably get this about like 2/3 through the event being there. We also got like a new Parazon skin and more. And the big thing here is actually these arcanes. So we got ENERGIZE returning again. We've got Avenger returning again, and a ton more. But here's the fun thing. Look at this. I have 71 Avengers right now. If I buy one Avenger, look what happened. It literally says right there, 7 Avengers. I get 7 copies of Arcane Avenger for 4 of the event resource. And you get 20 plus of the event resource in one run. So you are going to have a really easy time grinding this event out, especially with the strats we showed today. We did a sub 15-minute run. We got... let's see, watch this resource. We got 24 of this resource, we got 5 Steel Essence, 15 Pathos Clamps, and 20 of the Scuttler Husk, which is the item that you can use to get guaranteed Oraxia parts from the vendor as well. So, this vendor will stick around with this stuff in the future, but the arcanes will be gone. So yeah, Oraxia parts, not too hard to get, especially with this guaranteed system right here. We also got the new weapons, the new Incarnon Scythe, and the new Whip that makes enemies explode in Toxin, and also the really, really fun secondary of Oraxia where it groups enemies up. So all this stuff will come from this mission. Let's go over the meta farming guide for doing this. So first things first, as far as which mission type should you go for the Steel Path version or the normal path version of the 8 Claws mission? I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that I'd recommend that you do the Steel Path version. Why is that? Well, let's first off with where this mission is. So we're on the Deviri like navigation thing right here, and it's in the top left. It's an actual special new node that will be pretty much the exact same bounty every time. You have a 6 to 7 stage bounty. It's actually 7 stage bounty. That's going to have 2 guaranteed undercross, and then also a guaranteed spider frame boss fight and a guaranteed murmur boss fight at the very end. Yeah, they actually hit us with this boss fight returning, guys, so that's going to be something you're farming a lot. Think of this like as Gargoyle's Cry 2.0. But yes, while you're farming this, you'll be getting the resources and also the Steel Essence and Pathos Clamps. So Pathos Clamps can be used at the vendor over here to get weekly Rivens. You can also use those Pathos Clamps to get Incarnons unlocked. So basically right here, 15 Pathos Clamps for this Riven. It resets on a weekly basis. There's other stuff here too if you want. But yeah, the main thing is you're getting Rivens every week and maybe some Arcane adapters too. So as far as what I'd recommend to you guys for farming this, so get yourself Steel Path ready. Also, this is a clan event too, so getting your clan together can be good. The more of this resource you get, the event resource, the Dominus Auras, the better tier trophy you'll get. So 31,140 is how much we need for the Mountain Clan tier, which is what my clan's is. So that's going to be across your entire clan. So to get the entire store, all those Energizes, all those Avengers, all that stuff, that's going to be about 850 of the Dominus Auras. So that's going to be like 35-ish runs if you do Steel Path. It's about 40 runs on the normal path because the normal path gives less of those Dominus Auras. So, if you are trying to tell yourself that the Steel Path version is not worth it because you are seeing it correctly right here, this boss is damage attenuated a lot. Like, it's going to be a slog. The normal path version has like pretty much no damage attenuation, but it does still have some. I'm going to let you know that over the course of those 35, 40 runs, you'll be missing out on so many Pathos Clamps, which would equate to so many Rivens, and also so much Steel Essence, and also so much of this resource, too. So, I'd recommend, if you are trying to grind this event in the long run, to do the Steel Path version. Now, I'm going to show you the meta guide right now. So, you might get frustrated with Deviri. You're like, why does Deviri have these random loadouts? Because this is a Deviri mission, and even though DE was saying before that operators aren't allowed, Operators actually are allowed in these missions. You could use your Vazarin dash, you could use your Xeneric, you could use your whatever you need to do as far as operators, but you just can't use the drifters like melee combat, like, like the soul frame type combat. So yeah, you could bring Vazarin here and chain invincibility over and over again. But yeah, funny thing here too is that you'll sometimes have double boss fight here at the end, so being with a squad could help, but reminder too that the more squad mates you have, the longer these missions can take, because the amount of objectives need to be completed, or rather how much of these like resources you need to bring to the objectives for like the undercross stuff can get pretty ridiculous with a full stack. So we're talking like, probably like 10 orbs for a solo version versus like 50 orbs for a full player squad. That's not the exact number, but yeah, these missions can take longer with a full team, so just keep that in mind. But if you want someone watching your back, maybe your loadout's not that good, have a full team. Now here comes the meta right here, okay? So you have your random loadouts, you're getting frustrated, you're like, well, I only play Mirage with the Lado, and I finally got Mirage with the Lado. How do I keep Mirage with the Lado? And this is the meta part of the guide right now, guys, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. But yeah, here is how you meta keep your stuff. Okay, so go ahead and beat this final boss, but once you beat the final boss and get your resources, don't go to the green waypoint, okay? Instead, go and abandon the mission. Yes, you heard that right, and you have to trust me on this one. Abandon the mission. Go check your inventory. You have gotten the loot. The loot actually dropped for you when you abandoned the mission. And you know what's even better? It didn't rotate your Deviri loadout. So if you have a good gear loadout, I'd recommend that you abort the mission at the very end instead. As you can see right there, I kept Mirage and the Lado Vandal, the same things I had equipped. So that's how you can do this not all day long. These last for about 2 hours. So, for example, if you look in the ship right now, I'm going over here. I'm going to see what loadouts I have. And it's up for 2 hours. So I've got Kalervo, Lavos, Rhino, Oberon, Mirage. Let's say that I wanted to really, really play Kalervo for this. I could keep it on. So I'd go and do this mission. At the very end, I'd abort the mission and like leave squad or whatever. And I would keep Kalervo and I'd get all the loot. I keep all the same guns. Funny, you keep the same decrees too. So you'll do the same run over and over and over. Basically, the exact same thing, besides maybe some different variants in the bounties. And that's going to be the meta for you. So, for example, for me earlier today, I had Titania. I farmed with Titania for about an hour and a half-ish because of, this strategy. So, as far as what you're going to be dealing with here and what might be difficult, we got just a really straightforward bounty. So, normal bounty stuff for Deviri, like, go find the objects on the ground, go, kill some Murmur enemies. But for the Oraxia boss fight, we have a little bit of a tip for you here. So as far as during the Oraxia boss fight, she'll be invincible for quite a big chunk of it, and on the steel path she has damage attenuation. But while she's invincible, you're gonna have to be staying alive. There's lots of spiders around you that will be summoned in. So if you have arachnophobia, maybe beware of this fight. But yeah, killing the spiders doesn't seem to make her actually spawn any faster. And then the Death Scuttlers also don't seem to make her spawn any faster. So it just seems like it'll be a timer thing. But you'll have these spiders that cause like magnetic procs, they cause your abilities to be disabled, but you don't actually need to technically kill them. But object damage does seem to kill them really fast. So we're talking Dante's third ability. Probably Zaku's fourth ability. I haven't tried Zaku's fourth ability, but like, things that can break objects. So like Citrine's first ability. Anything that can break an object should be able to break those mini spiders. And for the Death Scuttlers, those things hit you really hard. Just use gun damage on them. And another really big tip is that you should waypoint the real Oraxia, okay? So one of her attacks is to make illusions of herself, but if you put a waypoint on the correct Oraxia before she does the attack, you'll have access, or you'll be able to know which one it is. You can shoot that bullet sponge for quite a while. So as far as good builds to run here, guys, speed run frames are going to be your best bets. We're talking Titania, we're talking Volt, we're talking, those types of things. And then, anything that can buff you as well. Status immunity, very, very clutch here, giving you things like prevention of the magnetic procs, also making it where the toxin procs don't damage you as much either. Once you kill Oraxia, you have like either a normal bounty step of like, basically, like I just like kill some enemies, and then the final step will be that boss fight. But after you kill Oraxia, I'd highly recommend you break all the containers by her door. There's a new resource called Temporal Dust, and you're gonna need that Temporal Dust to build these new things. So like, as you're doing this mission, break some boxes here and there to get the resource. You don't get bottlenecked at the end where it's like, well, I actually got all the parts for Oraxia, but I can't actually build her because I'm missing the Temporal Dust. So important one on there. Also, the decree that gives you double resources can come in really a big help, because it's going to give you double resources. That is the resource that only comes from here too. So yeah, guys, not a very complicated event. As far as some other things, you know, there's nothing really in your clan dojo you need to do here. It's going to be only actually being tracked by the resources you pick up. So your clan does not need to get organized too much here. But yeah, you know, just grind hard. If you get a good loadout, let's say you get a bad loadout. Here's a great example too. If you want to rotate your loot, you could do a normal path run. Let's say your loot, your gear is so terrible. You're like, I have the things I don't like. I have Oberon and the Stug again. That's all I keep getting. You can go run a quick normal path circuit 1 round, or you can go run the event on normal path and, you know, clear it in like 15 or less minutes, depending on how good your gear is. So that will rotate it and make sure you fully complete the mission at that point. But yeah, guys, going to be a ton of Pathos clamps grinding. We'll mess with this more over time, but yeah, my fastest time so far with the squad is 15 minutes, 48 seconds, and a 4-stack on the Steel Path as host. So let me know if you guys have done any faster than that in the comments down below. This is probably going to be the new Pathos clamp farming meta, and yeah, you can get 100 Pathos clamps from the vendor, but it's infinite Pathos clamps from the actual bounty. Some people are getting confused about that, but yeah, so you basically get 15 Pathos clamps per run, and then when you're getting this resource, you can buy up to 100 extra Pathos clamps from the vendor to make it like, you know, a nice little bonus as you grind this. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate all the support. We'll have the spider frame video probably up tomorrow and a ton of other stuff. Those new weapons are really, really cool. So see you in the next one, guys. Peace.